if we can take a lot of that off of their plate, then they are freed up to be more productive or go spend time with your friends and family. And the agents that see the value in having a village help you with your business, then this is the perfect place for you.
Bienvenidos a otro episodio de Atlanta Dulce Hogar, este podcast dedicado a bienes raíces, vender, comprar e invertir. And at this time, in this episode, I have with me Camille Ward. She is the best recruiter in the whole universe. Thank you so much, Camille, for being here.
You are welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, awesome. So to break the ice, I always do this. What is something or three things that your house must have besides doors and the essentials?
I would say my three non-negotiables in my home.
Okay.
Number one, I have to have a garage. Absolutely have to have a garage.
You don't want the car cold when you go outside.
Yes, I'm very particular about the temperature of my vehicle.
Really?
I don't, and when I was growing up,
I never heard that before.
I grew up very, very modest. We did not have a lot. We did not have very nice things. And in my mind, you create a reality for yourself. Well, when I have really hit the level of success that I have arrived, what will my life be like? And I always said I wanted to be able to afford to have someone else clean my house. And I wanted to be able to park in a garage, so that I could always be warm, dry, etc. Getting in and out of my vehicle. I didn't want to have to walk through the rain or the snow or the heat or whatever. So it has to have a garage, and it has to be attached to the house in a way that I am not.
Okay.
I am not exposed to the elements.
So it cannot be a
if
carport.
It's a detached garage, it can be. I would prefer not to have a carport if it's covered and the rest of the house is amazing. Well, it's a discussion. But it has to have a covered way, a protected way to get in and out of the house. So,
I can see it.
So my house has a drive under. I also refuse to buy a house that has a forward-facing garage. I don't want the garage to be the only thing that you can see.
Oh, so on the sides and
a drive under or a side entry or a rear entry. I don't want the house to lead with garage, and that I just don't like the way that they look. So I won't ever buy a house like that.
It makes sense.
And I prefer to have a fenced backyard. So those are my three things.
For baby or for the dogs or for whole
both. I have
family.
A dog right now. I currently have a dog and I have a toddler. So I like to have the idea of being able to go out in the backyard and have an enclosed space to enjoy is pretty
for
important
safety
to me.
And nice.
Yeah. Let my dog out. Yeah.
You're not very high maintenance, like I want this or no, it's essentials.
Those are my essentials, and then after those three things, I want to know what the kitchen looks like and what the master bedroom, bathroom look like. So not special or different than anybody else on the planet.
No, it is different, really. Most people I ask this to everybody that come here, and it's something that sometimes they go ahead and say, oh no, the kitchen, no, the big rooms, and and nobody say garage.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, past the garage part, the other answers then, the kitchen and the bathroom are pretty standard.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you are the recruiter for C21 Connect Realty.
Yes, I am.
And you are the best of the best.
Not yet.
What do you mean?
I'm number 2.
Wow.
No, not number 1. Number 2.
In number 2,
so not
where?
The best.
In Roswell? No.
No, I am for the year 2023.
Okay.
Within the Century 21 brand.
Okay.
I was the number 2 recruiter for the Century 21 brand worldwide.
Well, worldwide. I mean, we're talking about how many countries is Century 21 present? Like
in 97 countries.
That's what I'm saying. Wow, it's a lot. It's a very, very big accomplishment. I admire you for that.
Thank you.
I mean, she recruited me.
I didn't do it on purpose. It just someone called me one day and said, "Did you know that you ranked number 2?"
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah, nice. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Now, why a realtor should be here, or a real estate agent should be here in this a specific office?
That's an interesting question, and I'm going to kind of break it down a little bit. I
Please.
don't think that every real estate agent should be here.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I think that real estate brokerages are just as varied as the real estate agents that are in the city.
Mm-hmm.
There's a right fit for everybody.
Yes.
Some agents are perfectly happy being an island. They have all their systems set up. They have all their needs met. They've got their flow, and they're just self-sufficient. They like their autonomy. They like doing their own thing, and it's great. We are not really built for that.
Yeah.
We are not right for that agent. But for the agents that want connectedness, that want help and support,
Mm-hmm.
that don't want to be an island, they want to be able to network with other agents. They want to feel like they have a community. Everyone's pulling on the same rope. If they need help or support, not just from the staff, but from the other agents.
Mm-hmm.
If they want a lot of services, a lot of agents can be more productive in their business if they don't have to worry about putting out signs and lock boxes,
Mm-hmm.
drafting their offers and inputting their listings, and following up with the lender and managing their contracts. If we can take a lot of that off of their plate, then they
Mm-hmm.
are freed up to be more productive, or go spend time with your friends and family. And the agents that see the value
Mm-hmm.
in having a village help you with your business,
Yes.
then this is the perfect place for you.
It is. Wow. Like, I never seen it like how pretty you said it, but the help is amazing. I'm in this brokerage, and one of the things that I love is that I get the help, the transaction help, without having to be like, okay, this is monthly or a monthly payment.
Correct.
But more like, okay, this is part of the brokerage. Yes, the split or whatever, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because it's for a transaction. It's not for
Right.
like
So
monthly
if I
fee.
could just interject, I think a cleaner way of saying that
Yes,
is
please.
we are an all-inclusive resort.
Mm-hmm.
You can have as many margaritas on the beach as you want to. You only pay one price.
Yes.
We do not want to exist and make money off of our agents, whether they're successful or not.
Mm-hmm. The printers.
If you're starving, we're starving.
Hmm.
But if you're successful, then we share in that with you.
Yeah.
So we don't have monthly fees. We don't charge a la
Yes.
carte service fees.
That's
We
right.
don't charge you individually for any of the things we provide or give you, because we have a one set split.
Yes.
When you get to the closing table, you'll keep most of your money,
Mm-hmm.
but you're going to shave some off for us. The money that you do give us, we're going to just turn around and be good stewards of that, and we're going to put it back into the company to continue to provide all of the things that you have access to at no cost all the time. So we bear the ongoing expense of making sure you have access to the services that you need,
That's right.
and we hope that you'll use those services to grow your business so that we can both eat dinner.
Like my studio.
Your studio is beautiful.
I
How
know.
could you ever afford such a beautiful studio?
Look, like the
You
best
must
brands.
sell a lot of houses.
Yes, right. The best brands. You don't see it, but I have everything set up here with lights. It's
Yes.
on the back. We can change colors too.
Yeah.
It is amazing,
state
and
of the
I
art.
really, truly, I say this as a joke, but I feel like this is mine because
It is.
most of the use that I take in here is pro my business.
It is. This is like one big co-op.
Yeah.
We're all pulling on the same rope, and we're all contributing a little bit so that everybody can have access to things that they wouldn't necessarily be able to have access to if they had to pay for it themselves separately.
Another thing that I really appreciate in this brokerage is the idea that whenever I have a problem with the transaction, or not a problem, something's going on that I need to take care of, I can go up to anybody
Yes.
of the brokers that are here, and I will get the help.
Yes.
Like, I would not be like, oh, give me a second, or send an email so I can. No, like, maybe they do that with other things, like things that need to be in writing, or liability.
Sure.
But whenever I'm like, hey, I ran into this problem, these people are doing this, you know, real estate people think it's easy, but sometimes it's about solving problems.
Absolutely.
And having that experienced broker like Dwayne Amos, I mean, he's amazing. It is like having your own encyclopedia, real estate encyclopedia.
It takes a village sometimes,
Yes.
and I think that the strength of an agent, in large part, will rely ultimately on the strength of the broker.
You know that you say that it takes a village, and you know that we are supposed to be tribes, but for some reason, society moved into nucleus of families.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, dad's children, mom, dad, children's, mom, dad, children. But we're supposed to be more than that.
Yes.
So you can get that help. So with the toddler. So my wife can get that help with the toddlers. And,
yes.
But hey,
and
so here you have it. In the real estate, you have
our
it.
own tribe now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So also one of the like very I wouldn't say most important, but something that I give a lot of value to is the help with the transaction coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
These people know more than I do.
Yes.
With the language that we gotta use, with
yes.
the amendments that we gotta use. Because one thing is about paying a transaction coordinator and having to delegate or explain how is that gonna be written or
yes.
or you know any details. No, I would just say, hey, I need this amendment for this, and I can trust that they will write it very well,
mm-hmm.
and that is not something that's gonna, you know, hit
and I think
back.
that the reason for that, it bears a little bit of explanation. Many transaction coordinators, even if they've been doing that job for a long time and have a lot of experience in the industry, they may or may not necessarily have a real estate license. And when you use the phrase or the term transaction coordinator, it really is just someone who is helping to manage the flow of the transaction. So the difference is here, our help desk is not necessarily a transaction coordinator. They can be transaction coordinators. They also can be your listing concierge.
Yes.
But more than anything, because of who they are as team members, each of them is individually licensed. Each of them has experience in real estate. Two of them are licensed in more than one state.
Yes.
One of them was a high producing agent in California at over 60 transactions a year, year over year. One of them has a 4-year degree in real estate, and then the other two are part of our broker staff. So the core competency is not coming from a place of, oh, I have a transaction coordinator. No, you're coming from a place of you have a team that are essentially broker level support that are actually managing your transactions. So you don't have to micromanage what to say, how to say it, because they already, like you said, they know more than you do. There's more core competency in those 4 chairs than half of our brokerage put together, just because of the amount of time and the amount of education that is in that department.
What is your favorite part, like, of the brokerage, or one, like, you know, those help, like you got the help desk, you got the podcast studio, which those are my favorite, having access to the broker hotline and being able to hey, this is going on, it's 10 p.m. oh my god. I mean, I know, like, if it's past midnight somebody's gotta be dying. But what's your favorite? And it's a lot of
there's
things.
the marketing department as well, you know, helping you market yourself. We haven't even talked about that.
Yes.
But I will be honest, my favorite part of this brokerage, and I have to kind of explain my answer to, my favorite part is Mike Pruitt. Because, and this is what I tell agents that come in to speak with me, anybody can build what he has built. Anybody can, I mean, not anybody, but feasibly, all of this could be recreated.
Yes.
You can recreate a podcast studio, you can recreate a marketing department, you can recreate an extremely high-level transaction coordinating help team, you can recreate everything that we've done, and you can build it with the same compensation model that we've built. Everything here is duplicable. Everything. The only thing that you cannot get or build anywhere else is Mike Pruitt.
I laugh because he's unique.
He is. I tell people this all the time. He is an acquired taste. You either love him or you don't, and sometimes you love him and then you don't, and usually you come back to loving him. But what you cannot get anywhere else at any other brokerage is Mike. And having access to someone at that level of experience and knowledge and care, the spirit of generosity that he has with sharing his knowledge. If you want something out of life and you want to use real estate to get it, there is not another person on the planet that I would trust to coach and mentor me more than Mike Pruitt.
Yes.
He will not rest until you get what you want.
If you're woke,
period.
Don't come here.
If you don't have thick skin, don't come here. I tell people this too. He's very direct, but it's like Southern direct.
You know that when you say that, and I get it, that people might understand even more with Southern direct, but it's like having somebody that is gonna call your BS on you, on your face,
and not out of a spirit of meanness or trying to be derogatory or making you feel small. You tell him what you want.
Yes.
And his job is to be your mirror and help you get it. And if you're telling him, I want A, B, and C, and he acts as your mirror and your results are not what you want them to be, it's because your actions don't match your desired results, and he's going to point that out to you. And if you don't like that, that's okay. It's not his job to judge you, but it is his job to point out the difference between what you want and what you're getting and why.
And what you said you want.
You said you wanted this. Your actions are giving you this. Where is the problem? A lot of people don't like that. It makes them uncomfortable.
Accountability.
Accountability.
Yes.
And accountability without all of that. I say this too. It's not a bakery. He ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing.
Nothing, yes.
You like it? Great. You don't like it? Fine. It does not move his needle one way or the other.
Yeah.
He wants you to get what you said you want.
Yes. Yeah, he can come across as a very mean person. But if you have that skin, I don't have the Southern skin, but I do have that. So I've been working on me for a long time, like, spiritually, like, do what I say. Like, okay, if I said I was gonna walk 45 minutes every day, am I doing it? I look for excuses, and I always say the smarter, and he says it too, the smarter you are, the smarter your excuses are. And a lot of people would hate me because I call on their BS, and I stopped doing it because I started being alone. But then when I found him,
you start to alienate people when you call them on their stuff.
Yes. So and when I found him, I was like, interesting. I've been asking for somebody to teach me, and then God has such a great sense of humor, and then gives me this guy.
Yes.
That I don't know, is that if you can take it. And I understand the people that might say, oh no, he think he's the best of the world. He doesn't think so. He can prove it to you. And also he's a human, because he has told me things like, oh, you're leaving early and I'm going to do something. And it's like, oh, he ate his words, because and he can say I was wrong. If
you can prove to him that he is wrong,
he will say
admit it and apologize. He will. But the interesting problem there is you actually have to be able to show him he was wrong, and he isn't very often. He is sometimes, but he isn't very often, because he really does know what he's talking about.
And he's a human. He is.
I
mean, I'm sure if we ask his wife,
now that would be an entirely separate podcast.
Yeah, a podcast and topic and everything. Yes.
But I will say this, and this is not to get brownie points or anything, but this is 100% true. I am a different person, and I am in a very different place in my life because of the opportunity that I've had to work with and for Mike Pruitt.
Yes.
I would not be who I am. I would not have any of the disciplines that I have, which I'm not particularly proud of my self-discipline, but it's a whole lot better than it was.
Yes.
I am who I am, and I am where I am, and I have the things that I have because he taught me to be this person, and he saw something in me that I didn't necessarily see in myself.
Yes.
And he called me to greatness, and he did not let me excuse my lack of effort.
Yes.
You
or your
will do this,
procrastination.
or you won't be here.
And
I thought, well, shoot, I don't have a choice. And so because I thought I don't have a choice, I just made sure that I did what he expected of me.
So you believe he's the cherry on top of the brokerage?
I think he's the brownie on the bottom.
The brownie. Oh, okay. So you like ice cream and brownie.
Yeah, the brownie on the bottom of the sundae, you know, because you get the help and the support and the marketing, and that's the ice cream and the syrup and the cherries and the sprinkles. And then you dig your spoon down in and you hit the bottom and you're like, ooh, and a brownie too? And that, I think, is the advantage, because a lot of agents come here because of the help and the support and the services. And oh my gosh, I can run my business and have a life and not work all the time because you guys are doing all this other stuff for me. And then they'll go sit in a coaching session with Mike and they come knock on my door and they're like, Camille, I just had a session with Mike. And that's the brownie on the bottom.
Right, yes.
Does that make sense?
Well, sometimes it's not. Sometimes people don't like brownie on the bottom. And
Well, then next time order your sundae without it.
It's true. So he is the brownie on the bottom. I'm like something that nobody's gonna be able to recreate because he's he. Like right. I am who I am. You are who you are with all the things that we have from the past, right?
Right.
Because that form us, and sometimes we gotta we want to get rid of the past, but no, it's what got you to greatness.
Correct.
Plus the help, because one of the things that I noticed and why I every time I go no, yeah, this is the place, is that I found that place where I can be me, but then somebody's going hey, you gotta keep going. Don't weaken yourself because somebody said no, I don't want to work with you, or because somebody didn't write that buyer's agreement or that listing agreement. So that I think that's Mike gives you you the
push.
Yes, but if you have thin skin.
Yeah. If you're easily offended, if you
Whoa.
don't like facing your own insecurities or failures, and this is what I tell people too, there are so many facets to what we're doing here at this office. You have to invite that relationship with Mike. Yes. Not that he doesn't care about every agent here, he does, but he doesn't have the time to go chase each one down and wrestle them to the ground and beg him to join his coaching program. If you don't seek him out, he's gonna just kind of leave you alone to do your thing. You want his opinion, if you want his accountability, if you want his involvement in your business, he's there. If you don't like brownie, don't order the brownie. Yeah. There's plenty of ice cream and sprinkles and syrup without the brownie. But the brownie can really change your experience. You just,
Yeah, I see it. What else is something that you would tell people, or that you tell people, why join? Why come into Connect Realty?
Another reason I would say to join would be because as a broker team, 4 brokers for one office, first of all, that's a really big deal.
Yes.
Many brokerages here in the Atlanta marketplace have one broker for hundreds of agents. Yeah. Certain brokerages have one broker for the entire state. When you have access to a team of brokers and it's 4 brokers, each one is doing a different role in the business to make sure that the whole brokerage is getting the support that it needs, you have a very different experience. And then that broker team creates that environment of everybody wanting to help everybody else.
Yes.
So I think that if you like the idea of a community of everybody pulling on the rope and knowing that you can walk 5-10 feet in any direction and run into a broker that knows how to help you. And each one has their sort of their own specialty.
You can even ask too to see who,
to compare
not to see who's wrong, who's right,
compare notes,
but just to like, then I will do
this.
this.
Okay, now how would you handle this? And
exactly, compare.
So
notes.
I feel like it creates a very different environment of education as well, because we're going through this whole new situation with NAR.
Yes.
And 2 years ago, we were going through this whole new situation with the pandemic, and it's always something. But I think that when you are aligned with a brokerage that values information and that has strong leadership, then you feel like, okay, I'm in the right boat. My boat's not going down in the ocean. I know that we're going to be okay, because I am aligned with a team of leaders that knows what they're talking about, that's doing their research, that's finding ways to think outside of the box and to create solutions.
Because I think Mike has a lot of connections with
Absolutely.
like, hey, what do you think about this? Because I have a brokerage and I want to help my agents, things like that. All about the NAR settlement. It's really amazing how like I haven't had to think about this. Like they all came with like, okay, this is what we think. These are new procedures, and it's gonna be best for us.
Empowering the agents, creating short forms so that you can still be NAR compliant and not have to have that really uncomfortable conversation with your buyer about an exclusive buyer brokerage agreement. Like there's just a lot of different things that, because Mike has an entire support staff of not just the staff but the brokers surrounding him, he has the time and the energy to put forth the effort for him and Dwayne to sit down and go, okay, how can we empower our agents? How can we support them? What do we need to do to navigate this new landscape?
Amazing.
And he doesn't have to be a one-man show.
Yes.
So
it is really nice to understand it that way, and how the big point with the settlement, in my opinion, is transparency. The commission is worried about the consumer, and they want transparency, and that's what I feel that it is. That
the real estate commission.
Yeah, the real estate commission wants transparency. And that's the whole thing. Like, I feel like it's just, don't keep anything. Even though you're not hurting, we want you to say. And I think that's the whole point. And it's funny because people come up to me from other brokerage or even friends in my networking group. They come up to me and say, so what do you think about the compensation now? And I go, oh no, that's nothing. That's you handle this like this and be more transparent. And they're like, what? This is crazy. You talk like everything is good, but this other agent that I know thinks that hell is breaking loose. And it's like, I didn't see it that way.
Yeah. It is a matter of mindset, and it kind of comes back to leadership. I think that when you go through a period of a lot of uncertainty and a lot of change, that your ability to be successful or to maintain a successful business is going to have a lot to do with who you choose to align yourself with and who you choose to follow. Leadership matters. Having
somebody that gives you accountability without being like on top of you. Right. I really like that. Like, you said this, and if you come to my coaching session and you tell me this and I believe you, please don't do something else, or at least send me an email. He said that the other day, like exactly like that. At least send me an email. Having that meeting for the whole office on Wednesdays, it is amazing because we get so much help with security from a sheriff telling us, hey, how to be secure when you're showing, or things like understanding the settlement and knowing that if we don't do this or do other things that the settlement say, we can be, in trouble and things like that. That's something that I concentrate on my marketing, and they concentrate on me being able to do business.
Yes.
And that's amazing. I really.
It's a partnership.
Yes, it's a partnership. everything in life, if you look at it, everything in life is mainly a partnership. Somebody got there because it was helped, and then you should give back. And I feel like he's doing that. I feel like somebody helping get there, and he's conscious of that and be like, hey, now it's my turn to help. And it'll get to your time where you need to help other people the same way, or at least with my guidelines.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah. So nobody is where they are without being helped.
Yes.
Nobody.
Agreed.
I think the only person or the only entity is God. He's the only one because he created us. But or that's what I believe.
I agree with that. I absolutely do.
Amen.
I do.
What's your favorite color? No, just kidding.
I actually don't have any favorites.
No?
I have like top 3 lists based on my mood, which always changes. So
nice. The marketing. How did he get to, like, I know he has this, like, if you don't market yourself, you'll be a secret agent. This is being the head of the brokerage, Mike Pruitt. And how did he get to that? Like, why is he insisted? Do you know, or do you have this idea of why is something that he wanted to implement in the brokerage? You know how, like, he says that he everything that he has here is because he wanted it when he was an agent.
yes.
And he concentrates really a lot on the marketing. What can you say more about this department?
From what I know and from what I have heard and from just all the little pieces that have come together just from my time being here working with and for Mike, I believe that the way that he got to where he was when he was at the height of his listing and selling career, he really had to work very, very hard to create relationships with the right people in the right places in order for the business to come and to flow into his company. So I believe that his passion for marketing, it really kind of goes back to the realization that if you are not creating the right relationships, then you are not going to have as much business as you would like to have. And the best way to create a relationship is for people to know, like, and trust you.
Amen.
And they're not going to know, like, and trust you unless they're aware of you, which all comes back to marketing. And marketing has changed quite a bit since the invention of, the internet and social media and all of these things. I mean, back in 1987, it wasn't like that. And so I believe that his focus on marketing really is an overarching belief that the way that he became successful was by building relationships. Modern marketing now is changing so quickly that we just have to stay on top of it all the time. So that's why I believe he brought in Hannah and the marketing team the way that they are, so that we are constantly evolving with the way that the marketing platforms are evolving and so on.
Yeah, well, I think everybody can tell that I'm very happy in this brokerage.
We are very happy to have you.
Thank you. I know you guys look for those that have potential, and you scream before you pass it over there, right?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do.
Yes.
You have to get past me to get to Mike.
So when I knew that, I was like, I'm that special. Yes. So thank you for that call that you gave me.
Absolutely.
And thank God I picked up. So hey guys.
I would have just called you again.
If you see Camille Ward, pick up. It is worth it. Anything you want to say bye, or?
I feel like I've probably overshared in a lot of ways. So,
okay, all right.
I love that you had me on, and I love that you gave me an opportunity to just share what I'm passionate about and a little bit more of my story here.
No, thank you so much, Camille, and thank you everybody for watching. Esto fue Atlanta Dulce Hogar, un podcast dedicado a bienes raíces, comprar, vender e invertir. And I had the pleasure to have Camille Ward, the recruiter at C21 Connect Realty. Thank you. Gracias.
Gracias.